Hi guys, this is Taylor Mouse. I'm going to explain you how to use my new two scripts, one that will import ADT files and one that will import WMO files for 3D Studio Max. ADT and WMO are from World of Warcraft, and the ADT file contains the heights of the world. The world is where you run it on during the game, and the WMO files are the world model objects like barracks and caves and so on. So first things first, download the two scripts and put them in this folder. So in your program files, Autodesk 3D Studio Max 2011 or whatever version you have, scripts and startup. Then of course you need to start up 3D Studio Max. Let me get rid of these two things first. And in 3D Studio Max, you will probably have something like this when you start up, more like this. Go to the Utilities tab on the right, and one of the buttons says Max Script, right? So in Max Script, you will have a Utilities drop-down, and from the drop-down, you will have multiple um, scripts available or utilities available, and one of them is the ADT import, and one of them is the WMO import, which I'm going to be showing now. So let's start with the ADT import. Now, before we're going to import an ADT file, we first need to know which one. And for the example, I used the Swamp of Sorrows. Why Swamp of Sorrows? Because it's the very, very first map ever in the Warcraft history where the orcs um, landed, or at least where you need to do your first scenario in Warcraft 1. So how do we find this? Swamp of Sorrows, of course, there will be a lot of it on the internet. So what I did to find this is extracted everything from Worlds of Draenor, um, and in world maps, and then Azeroth, you will have like hundreds and hundreds of files. How many are there? All right, 4,200 files, which is a little bit too much to open each one of them and check which is Swamp of Sorrows, of course. Now we still need this, so let's find them. And when you extract from everything from Worlds of Draenor, in World, you will have a map, a folder which is called Minimaps. And in Minimaps, we have Azeroth. And all these BLP files are the actual mini-maps that you see in your upper right corner when you play the game. To view them, use XnView. So when you double click on it, XnView shows you the image. Well, I just randomly picked one. So when I go to browser, it will, like a real Windows Explorer, it will show you all the maps. So when you scroll down, you'll see there's a lot of blue because there's a lot of water and so on. And at one point in time, you will hit some interesting maps. And the one we're interested, of course, is the Swamp of Sorrows, which, if I remember correctly, starts at 38. So you can map them all out. No need to do that, or at least not. That's not what I'm going to do. Um, and so on and so on. To make my life easier, I selected everything, converted it to PNG format, so I can check it in the browser. I made an additional map which is called PNG format, and in here you will see all of these images converted nicely. And of course they don't line up because the numbering is the first number is vertical and the second number is horizontal, so it's the opposite of what we have here, and so on and so on. So once you found the ones you like, the matching images. What I did, I opened up a PowerPoint, which makes my life a lot easier, and I just put these images together. So I have the Swamp of Sorrows right here. I added the numbers uh, of the images, which are the exact same match as the ADT files. Um, then I went to Wikipedia or WoWiki or whatever to check out what all these things were, like Stone Arts, Splinter Spirit Junction, the Harborage, Temple of Atalakar, and so on and so on. So the one I'm interested is this one for the example or for the tutorial. Stoneart, the place where the orcs, or at least where you start off in Warcraft 1, where Stoneart is still nothing, and you will have to build the necessary stuff there for your first scenario, right? So all of this, uh, pretty interesting. Let's go to 3D Studio Max and select WoW ADT import. Select the file to import, right? And then go to the Azeroth ADT file. Don't even remember. 3851, so 3851 ADT, not the OBJ, and so on. I haven't scripted the text yet, which contains the textures that are used on um, on the model. The OBJ and OBJ1 contain the WMO and the MDX or M2 files. They used to be in this ADT file prior to Mist of Pandaria. So let's open this one first, and it's going to create well, it's going to create a lot of things. This is not the one, so this is still an error which I'm looking at. Um, so delete that one and press Z for zoom in, and then you will have your map right there. So as you can see, here is the corner what I'm missing. Don't know why that's happening yet, so I'm still working on that. For the rest, it looks nearly exactly the same as the one in the picture. So here we have the mountains, we have the water, we have the rivers, the path, and so on, right? Okay, now another button is provided which will say import M2 models, but we don't have these models yet, or at least we don't have these helpers yet. So selecting the other file, which is called 3851 obj0, right? So open it, um, and normally it should, yeah, it doesn't refresh when I'm recording. So all these green dots or green helpers have been positioned correctly and oriented correctly to the original M2 files and WMO files. There are some of the helpers outside of the field, so you can delete them because they will be returning in the other environments or the other ADT files when you import them. At least this one and this one I'm sure of. And for the sake of everything else, I'm going to leave these. Once I have these helpers, I will be pressing the import M2 models, and this will, in just a second, I'm popping up the Max Script Listener, which can be found here, Max Script Listener, right? So a little bit smaller so it fits. Right click, clear all, and then I'm going to press import M2 models. And here is going to find everything that I have on disk, and it will import it, right? So um, how does this work? You need to change your settings, of course, here in this button. The root folder is where you have extracted everything from Worlds of Draenor or any other version that is. And you need the nConvert application, which converts BLP to PNG automatically. This one can be downloaded from the XnView website as well. Okay, now I have all these, right? So as you can see, there's some textures missing, some weird stuff going on. Haven't figured that one out yet because it's a very, very simple M2 import. It doesn't import animations and so on and so on. But for example, this one, zoom in, it's right there, right? So you can see where it's standing, where it's looking at, and so on. All right. Um, the only thing I didn't do yet is import the WMO things or objects. So first of all, I want to get rid of everything here that I don't need. So I click on Manage Layers, and I have here on this side Azeroth, which is the map. So I can delete, well, hide it from view. To do that, all these MBX positions, rotations, and I'm stuck with the WMO helpers, right? So there's a lot of them. These are the ones we're going to try to import next. So the next script is WMO Import, right? So here you can select one file. If you don't have these helpers yet, you can select a single file and it will import the WMO file. Or you can say import multiple WMOs. This means it will import the based on the name of the helpers. Import MDX is when you have imported a single selected WMO and it has M2 or MDX files in the WMO file, uh, and you want to import them as well. Right, so bounding boxes, I don't want them now. Do that positions, I don't want them now. Import textures, yes, and I don't want them to be materials to be added to my material editor. So I'm gonna click this one. First, I'm gonna get my Max script listener, clear all. Ha! I can see here that file not found. Steam Tank Ironforge Steam Tank M2 was not found. Okay, that's the only one, so I'm not gonna be bothering you with this. So clear all and import multiple W. This could take some time if there's a lot of additional WMO stuff to be imported, right? So let's see how far this goes. Ah, done, right? Okay. So move it along a bit, zoom in, and there you go. It has textures missing, of course. Uh, yeah, here, Swamp Bridge. Okay. All right, go back to Manage Layers, unhide the doodads, hide the WMO helpers, and there you go. That's as far as I've gotten. Hope this helps anyone, for example, for a remake of Warcraft 1, which has been going on for quite some time. And it's easy to check this way how things evolve or during the remake, what was there at the time and what is there now in World of Warcraft. So thank you for listening. Bye.